I think Philly's finna make a mistake at number 3 because I'm hearing VJ Edgecombe, and even before that, I was hearing Ace Bailey. Either of those picks would be a mistake. If I was Philly, I'm just keeping it a buck. If I was Philly, I would trade down and target 3 guys. I've been thinking about this a lot too much because I like Maxey. You know what I'm saying, from the Metroplex. But I've been thinking about this a
Yeah.
lot. You got your backcourt of future in Philly. You have Maxey and McCain. What do you need now? You need a big wing that can play off the ball and be versatile and do the small things. I was thinking of Carter Bryant from Arizona. I was thinking of Cedric Coward, the guy who's like the Jalen Williams of this draft. He just jumped up out of nowhere. And I was thinking Colin Murray Royal. He's like a tweener, small forward, power forward, just to fill in the gaps, do all the dirty work, small things. More of a scorer, shooter than a guy that's go fill in. I think VJ Epscombe, he's just too small. You can't have 3'6'4" and smaller guys. It's okay with McCain and Maxey because they both are bigger guys, but now you're trying to put 3 guys. No, that's just too small for VJ, and I like VJ. But what are your
Yeah.
thoughts on it?
You may be swaying my mind. I would trade down and probably try to get Trey Johnson if he's available. I don't know how far you trade down.
Trey Johnson's another
I
guy who don't fit. It's
but
he wants the ball too much. He wants to
I
shoot.
understand he wants the ball, but you earn your way to get that kind of role.
But what will he be
You
doing if he
force
don't
him
have
to
the
be a
ball?
guy.
What is Trey Johnson doing next to McCain and Maxey without the ball? Getting and like not passing. Like he don't fit with those two. You got to think about those two guys you building around for the future. How does Trey Johnson fit with Maxey and McCain?
Yeah. See, Philly getting this is interesting. They needed the number 1 pick. That's what
They needed Coop. They needed
they
Coop.
need. Too. Um, they don't need VJ. You're right. I would draft VJ if I'm 3rd pick. I would draft VJ. I'm not drafting Ace. I'm drafting VJ if I have the 3rd pick. Ace Bailey don't want. He just so hell bent on not going. So forget you then. Fine. Uh, so that's what I would do. But they don't need him. So it is like they need to find. I realistically probably trade. Well, nah, because if the Hornets want to trade up and get him, get VJ,
Yeah,
I go
trade
down there
that.
and talk to them.
Yeah, but all right, I'm
I
just
don't know.
saying
Yeah, you,
we go
you you have a good point with Philly. You have a good
we
point.
go
They
we
need
go
to
look back on this.
it's with their backcourt. Yeah.
Yes, we go look back on this because I think everybody just oh man, VJ and Ace Bailey and woo. This is about putting team. We seen it with the Pacers. It's about putting a team together that fits. You go get VJ, that shit don't fit. You go get Trey, that shit don't fit. Ace, it don't fit, man. Go get you a guy that don't care about having the ball, that will play defense, that'll make all the little plays and be coachable and have some size on them to put next to Maxey and McCain because in that backcourt, that's enough scoring, bro. It's enough scoring. We don't need nothing else. We need a role play. I like what you said. Trade down with the Hornets, but I'll trade down even further than that. I ain't gonna lie. Brooklyn, their first pick is like 9, something like that.
I think 8.
8. So I would look at Brooklyn and let that way you can get Carter Bryant if that's who you want. Or you could just, you know what I'm saying, do something like that. But I'd be like, man, hey, Brooklyn, give me 2 or 3 picks and you can have number 3. And that way Brooklyn can go get Ace because I think that's low key. Ace wants to go play. I do want to get your thoughts on Ace too. I think Ace just wants to be a place where he's going to get the ball and score because that's going to help him flourish. You sound like you didn't like Ace's decision to not work out, like he took the Shador route. But what are your thoughts on Ace?
Why are you so worried about why not just go to Philly? I would go to Philly if I'm Ace because you have a better shot at being the guy. Paul George is not finna be there forever.
Mm-hmm.
Joel Embiid is on his last leg. So then it's you and Maxey. It's gonna be you and Maxey going for it with McCain. That's a nice trio. If y'all work things out and y'all figure it out, that's a nice trio going forward. So I don't
Man,
understand why not going to Philly
Chris,
is so bad to you.
you understand.
Go
He
ahead,
goes to
go
Philly. He's a
ahead.
role
Be a role player for a year or two, and
suspended.
then
He
it's the
don't want to be.
thing.
Why do you think he went to Rutgers? He don't want to be. I want to be a guy. I can't fault him for
A
that.
guy on his own team at Rutgers.
Good point. But I'm just saying, I understand it. It's like he want to go somewhere and be the guy. Maybe this is like it'll turn some people off. But hey man, I would want to go to Philly, bro. Philly's hard on guys. He won't get a chance to really flourish into their shot creator role. I think he wants to either go to Washington or go to Brooklyn. Like, and that's cool. He thinks he's one of those guys that wants to get shots up. So I mean, you can't fault him, especially if he's willing to slide in the draft. Like he's literally saying, like, hey, I don't care where I'm picked as long as I get to go somewhere where I can get buckets. That's basically what he's saying. I don't have to be number 3. And I don't see nothing wrong with it. Everybody just I don't see
I'm
nothing
not.
wrong with
No,
this.
I understand. You want to kind of, yeah, you
He's
kind of
paying
want
for
to
it by
have a
sliding.
exact. Yeah, you want to have a kind of a hand in where you go. It isn't necessarily about the number where you're picked. It's about where you go, and you can always make money or do whatever elsewhere. Like so,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
What did you have on the draft? Like who is like what this draft? What are your initial thoughts? Like what's interesting you?
I want to see who the Hornets get to pair with Lamelo and Brandon Miller, and really just what direction they should go in going forward. I think they have
Oh,
a number of options. If I'm being honest, I think they could trade down. I think they could stay where they're at, trade down and get Malwa, and then move off Mark Williams. I think they have a lot of stuff that they can technically do. It's just what are they going to do? What should they do, and what would be best for their team going forward?
I was gonna ask that because I honestly think VJ is the best fit for them. But
Hmm.
okay, if they don't get VJ, now all of a sudden VJ going third. Okay, so if they don't get VJ, you think Malawatch, anybody else?
Some people say Con Canuple, and I'm not mad at that. I guess, but you get a shooter, a sniper. Why you covering? Why you?
Bro, oh, this Conquerable shit is killing me. I done seen all the white podcasts just in love with Conquerable. It was at the beginning of the year when I was watching Dude Conquerable was scared at his damn brain. Conquerable couldn't do nothing. Say, bro, we gotta stop this. He
It's
has
a
a physical
fit thing.
profile and he does
It's a
fit a lot of teams in theory. But I think he goes spend his first 2 or 3 years in NBA scared at his damn brain, bro. He's a scary player. Like he don't
you
have
think
that natural. He's a scary player, bro. He's not gonna
you think
no,
so? It's kind of like Reed Shepard again.
no. Reed Shepard, bro. Reed Shepard just Reed Shepard's better, bro. Reed Shepard didn't have the opportunity. Reed Shepard didn't have the opportunity, and he's 6'3".
You
Con
you
Canupo
don't
is
think
six
he's
seven,
scared to shoot?
unathletic and scared. You think Reed's scared to shoot?
At times he could be scared. He played scary, but now I mean his confidence grew. But from where he was picked, I mean, come on now. I
He
guess you could
didn't
say
have the
opportunity. Yeah,
reps. It's like, oh, if I don't make these shots, I won't get in the game no more. Like I will get
yeah.
DNP 2 weeks in a row. So it's like
He
that's
may
just like
look
an
over on
added
his brother.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's like I can't really until Reed gets consistent minutes. I can't criticize him, and he was definitely not scared at Kentucky. Concanapa was
Yeah.
scared at dude. He was scared. And it's not gonna be popular to say, but I'm hearing niggas like Ryan Rosillo, Bill Simmons, they so little Conker say, man, he gonna spend the first 2 or 3 years scared out of his damn mind, bro. Like if he ever hit his stride, it's gonna be later on in his career when he get NBA confidence. But he to be a
Mhm.
top 5 pick is crazy. I don't think Conker is that. I'm gonna start there. I got a list of guys who I'm not sold on, and he's definitely on that list.
Okay.
But yeah. I think VJ. I don't like Malowach for the Hornets because it's like what's the point? You need a guy that's gonna play point of attack defense for Lamelo, and he can play off of Lamelo, and he can fit in right next to Brandon Miller. So you know,
Yeah, VJ. That's why I say maybe trade for VJ if you can. If not, because he's supposed to be going third. If not, I mean, Trey Johnson's probably the next best fit, next thing for them, unless you want a
Oh my
safe
god.
option, which I said the safe option was Kai Knuckle. Kai Knuckle or mouthwash. Those are safer options, in my opinion.
For the Hornets, it's like, okay, would Con Knuckle ever be able to really start for the Hornets, bro?
If Trey Mann stays on the bench, if they bring him back and he stay on the
So you would
bench,
start Con Knuckle at the shooting guard position, basically what you're saying.
space that floor for LaMelo.
Terrible. Uh, I want somebody that can play point of attack defense next to LaMelo. Like the shooting shit, that's cool. But Brandon Miller can shoot. Miles Bridges can shoot. Like eventually, maybe you'll probably get off Miles Bridges or something like you go power forward or something like that. But I don't know. Conklin was not the answer for the Hornets, bro. Neither is Malawatch. I'm sorry. VJ Edgecombe or trade the hell out of that pick.
You think they should just
Okay.
take Carter Bryant or something? Like, I don't know. Man, let's see.
No. They need somebody you could put next to LaMelo. VJ Edgecombe's literally just the perfect piece. Or you could trade way down and get Jace Richardson. I think Jace Richardson would be a solid pick right there too. Because LaMelo, you big enough
Okay.
to guard some of these shooting guards and let Jace guard the point guard. I think LaMelo's size make it to where you can get a point guard sized guy that could
Yeah.
play point of attack defense. And LaMelo, you have to
And,
guard these shooting guards.
but you just want DeJounte Murray to get a big guard.
DeJounte Murray's a small guard. LaMelo's 6'7". He really can't guard these small dudes anyway.
Yeah,
That's why it's like you know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying. You need a small
I get what
off
you're saying.
ball guy that can be the point of attack defender next to LaMelo. Me
Yeah.
personally. Okay. You got anything else for the draft before I get into some of these guys I'm not sold on? I can go either way. I got some guys I'm not sold on. I got some underrated players and some potential steals.
Let me hear. We'll start with your guys that you're not sold on. I think that's interesting.
So
Yeah, I'll
we already
counter.
said
I don't.
okay. We already said Concanupple. I got him out the way. Concanupple. I think he's a prototypical shooting guard. I question his athleticism, but I question his confidence. I don't think he's gonna come into the league confidence. It's gonna take years for him to build NBA confidence. I don't want that out of a top 5 pick. At least you can be as confident. Okay, so got him out the way. Jeremiah Fears. Say dog. Can't shoot. Short. Can't defend. Yes, you electric. I don't trust that shit, man. Maybe if you believe you could be a willing 6 man, maybe. But you ain't got no pushback on Jeremiah Fears. I'm not sold on him. Top 10 pick? What are we doing?
I like his handle. I like what he do getting to the basket. But you are right. Being undersized doesn't help his case.
Because think about the undersized guards. These like Darius Garland. I heard a crazy point about this and I agree with it. It's like, okay, Darius Garland could shoot. Darius Garland could play make. He could do all those things. But it's like you still possibly can't win with him. Jeremiah Fears
Mm.
does everything worse than Darius Garland. So it's like, man, can you really win with Jeremiah Fears? And then as a top 10 pick, you want him to start. I think he's a 6 man guy if he's willing to fill that role, but he's short, can't defend, can't shoot. Small guard, those are terrible.
Mm.
City, all that's cool, but that'll be cool off the bench. That's cool, like late lottery. I think I'm not sold on him as just being a top 10 pick. That's basically.
Okay.
And then my third guy, Noah Esingu, or whatever the hell, however you say his name. He looks like a bust. He looked like that guy that everybody he just looks like that guy that's like, okay, if he's not good in 5 years, I believe it.
You know he leaving his German team is in the finals right now. They up 2-1, and he's leaving to come to the draft. He's leaving to
Terrible.
be there on draft night.
See, shit like that.
It's
Oh,
drafting once in a lifetime, man.
man, so is being in a final somewhere. He probably won't get no PT. He get PT,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he is. So if we look up 3-4 years from now and he don't get no PT, he don't get no burn in the league, would you be surprised? Noah Esingu, or how the hell you say his name?
It'd be because he can't shoot, but I like the athleticism and the height and the build.
Same shit. What was the dude from Oklahoma City that I just was hating on because I'm like, bro, you could have had Mark Williams. What was that nigga name? You know who I'm talking about.
I
We don't
know
even
you
remember him.
talking
We don't remember
Scott.
him. It's the same thing.
Oh shoot.
I can't think of that name. It's the same
What's
thing.
that dude? Oh, what's that dude's name? Oh, shoot! It just came to me. I lost it for a second.
Yeah.
It's gonna
The
cut him.
wing
It's gonna cut him. That's bad. That's
wing.
bad.
You see what I'm saying? He's gonna be like that.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, he had all the tools, and yeah, he's somewhere on the bench in the G League. Okay. Let me look up his name. Let me look up his name. Just because I'm like, man, I want to
What's that
talk
dude's
down on him.
name?
Thunder
Ah,
roster. We finna look at that Thunder roster.
who he get traded
Uh,
for?
Usman
He
Jang.
Usman Jing. He was in that Dyson Daniels deal, I think, or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Noah
Usman
Noah
Jing.
gonna end up like Usman Jang. Or hear him on draft night, never hear his name again. Do you got some players
Golly,
that you not sold on?
I hope he prove you wrong. Ah,
Oh,
let me. Yeah, I hope he prove you wrong, but I can't necessarily argue too much about that. Um, I don't have a ton of guys I'm just not that high on. I think I think the draft does tailor off, like you said, after I think what is like 6 guys or 5 guys, in my opinion. I have Cooper Flag,
mm-hmm,
Dylan Harper.
mm-hmm,
Those are the 2 guys. You can throw Ace Bailey, right?
mm-hmm.
I don't know if this is Texas bias, but I'm still throwing Trey Johnson, Trey Johnson in there,
No,
and
Trey is
VJ Edwards.
cold. Just depends on the. I think Trey has the scoring, just strictly scoring. I think Dylan Harper probably has the highest scoring ceiling. Then it's
Hmm.
Trey. Then it's Ace. Trey as a scorer, but it's gonna be dependent on the situation, how much his IQ develops, and how much he's willing to play defense. But scoring, shooting, and scoring, Trey possibly got the title of the best shooting and scorer in this draft. He was the number one option on the
Yeah,
Texas team. So it's like, I like Trey, but it's go. We gonna have to. We got to see it with him. But I like him. I don't hate him. I do. So
those are my 5 guys. Those are my 5. Hey, if you get one of those guys, you did good. So
okay. Underrated players. I got my list of underrated players. I think I got one, two, three. I got 4 of them. Number one, Jace Richardson. Short, but he has a long wingspan. He's athletic. He's a winning off-ball player. He has high IQ, and if he was 6'10", I mean 6'5", he would be a top 10 pick. So, with that being said, I love guys like that who was like, man, if he was really that guy this draft, IQ, athleticism, shooting off ball, like it winning player. Love Jace Richardson. Danny Wolf. I ain't gonna stunt.
hmm
Just a big, unique basketball player who just know how to hoop. Kind of like a
yeah,
I ain't gonna say Nas Reed. It's like a Nas Reed, Derek Queen, just these big guys that just know how to hoop. So I like Danny Wolf.
yeah. I
Thomas
watched him.
Sorber.
Yeah, I like what he does. Yeah,
Thomas Sorber, another big that's got like all the pieces. If he could put it together, he would be worth the risk. And then Ryan Kalkbrenner, he's like Brooke Lopez, you know what I'm saying? A guy that's seasoned,
got
good,
a
good IQ, Creighton,
yeah.
and he'll be
Creighton.
a good
Yeah,
role
that's what I
player.
thought.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So do you got any
I
thoughts
like
on
them
them
too.
underrated players?
I like the bigs. The bigs are Danny Wolf for sure. Cockburn, I really like. I watch him from Creighton. Guys that can space the floor, do all the things, and have good defensive instincts too. Those are all, in my opinion, great traits out of a big that you want nowadays, and the ability just to be able to be mobile a little bit. So, and I think all those guys check to an extent those boxes off in their own kind of way.
And hard to find. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'd add I like the Jace Richardson too. He does fall because he's undersized, but there's a lot of good things that he could do as well. I'd add um dang, it was just on my mind who I was finna add on that list, and then I just lost it. Um Oh, Liam McNeely. I like Liam McNeely still from out of
Okay.
UConn.
Mhm. I do
I think
too. I
he's
don't hate Liam.
yeah. I think he's just high. I think he's still very solid prospect regardless of whatever. So I like him out of UConn. And I like you don't like Kasparis out of Illinois.
I do, but it's like with point guards like that, it's like where will he actually get to play? Like,
That's yeah. I don't think he plays much anywhere
so I
at the
think a good fit
yeah.
for him probably will be Brooklyn too. Like, if you are convinced that we go try to make it work with Cam Thomas, I would like a
Hmm.
Casper Yakatronis next to him. They could be like a floor general type, while and still
Yeah.
having some size on them to guard, like the
Hmm.
bigger guards if need be. But I like something like that. But outside of that, it's like I just don't know where he would play
That's a
to
good
bring out
point.
his full
That's
potential.
I do think he has a lot of good things going for him, and he could be sleeper as far as when we look back on the draft. Man, he fell that far. Yeah, that's how I feel about
Okay, so I like Yakatronis. Okay,
him. Okay.
I got some potential steals. And the way I rate the steals, it's like guys in the second round, and it's like, damn, he fell in the second round. He actually is a part of an 8-man rotation.
All
Uh,
right, I'm gonna ask. Yeah, we'll see if you don't name somebody. I'm gonna say either first round or not. So
okay, John Tunji out of Wisconsin. Um, I thought bro was a bucket getter, 6'5", got a strong build. If he would look up and you'd be like, oh man, John Tunji from second round, he's somewhere getting some buckets. I wouldn't be surprised. So that's number one, John Tunji from Wisconsin. Kobe Brea from Kentucky, 6'7" sniper, like one of the best 3-point shooters consistently in college basketball for like 3 years, and he's 6'7". So I like
hmm
that. Janai Broome. Like you don't dominate college basketball at 6'10" like that and don't have nothing. And it's like he's athletic enough. He kind of flashed some shooting potential. And it's like if he ended up somewhere in a rotation, I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, how much better is Noah than Janai Broome? Like, come on now.
Whole
Chaz
round
Lanier.
pick better.
You said what, man? Yeah.
Whole
A
round
whole
pick better.
round burst. Yeah, that's
A
crazy.
whole day.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, whole that's crazy. It's not true. Chaz Lanier, bucket getter from Tennessee. As you can see, it's a pattern. Anybody getting buckets on a major college basketball team that at least has NBA size, it's like I would be willing to give them a try. You were number one guy on Tennessee, a top 10 team all year. Janai Broome on a top 5 team all year. I'll give you a chance, especially if you
Yeah.
fit the profile athletically. So Chaz Lanier, I think he could get buckets off the bench somewhere, and I wouldn't be surprised. My steals are just guys I wouldn't be surprised if they actually popped up in a rotation. And my last one, Cam Jones from Marquette. He a guard that could do a little bit of everything, filling the gaps. And at the very least, he could be like a goddamn end of the bench 10th guy that'd be clapping, and he ain't gonna bring no problems to the team. So those are my potential second round steals type of guys.
Did Walter Clayton play his way to the first round for you?
I think he's firmly in the first round. Like he's gonna be in the 20s.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. I don't. I'm not mad at any of those picks. I'm not familiar with everybody, but I'm familiar with most of the guys. So I'm not mad at those picks either, too. So as long as you have guys like you said that are putting up on and scoring on you know on good college teams or good programs. They're well coached. They've had years underneath their belt in college. They'll be able to kind of plug and play. That's what we see with the Brunsons. That's what you see with those kind of guys where they've been leaders on their team, where they've been they didn't have like the oh great high ceiling or whatever per se, but they have a really high floor. So that's why they're
Yeah.
getting taken right there. You
And it's
know,
gonna be about
um,
opportunity in size. Like I still look at size and athleticism and stuff like that, but it's just like, yeah, these dudes ain't just terrible size athleticism wise. But keep going on it.
No, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I agree with you in that aspect. International prospect that I think is interesting. I've seen him a little bit on some of the like NBA futures or whatever, not NBA future, but the little draft combine games and stuff. Hanson Yang, he's a big old center Asian center. He's 7'2". I think he definitely has a chance to show some things. He just needs more minutes underneath his belt. But I like him.
I'm going to look him up. What you say his name was?
Yeah.
You send it to me off.
Bet I'll send it to you after this. He's a big Asian
Okay.
center. He's like 7'2". He move pretty decently. And, he needs more time playing, but I think going forward he could be pretty good.
Okay, so that's your steal. Walter Clayton. Why'd you bring him up? You think he's like
I was gonna say if you had him in the second round and you didn't pick him as a steal, I think it's kind of crazy. But if you have him firmly in the first round, which he should be in my opinion, some people have him very late first round. And he could slide, whatever how the draft be happening. But I just think I really think he can be a guy that can come on a team, good confidence, and at the most, or be a great sixth man in his career. And that's how I feel about him. So I think he definitely played his way up, from where his maybe draft stock originally was, and I think he for sure could be, he could turn from a late first round pick to a really good six man to potentially a good starter for a lot of teams.
What will be some spots? Because it's low key. I would like him on, and it's crazy because Denver don't even have a damn pick.
I was gonna say Denver too. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah,
perfect on Denver. I would like him in Miami possibly too, and even Orlando because Orlando still got like a 25th pick.
Yeah,
I'd be
interesting to see what some of those late picks do. So if the teams that are good, the good teams that are good at drafting, they pick even in the later rounds guys that fit their team and can contribute early. And that's how you stay being a relevant good team.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what the Magic need to do here. You don't need to take no risk on no guy that you don't know how he's gonna play in the next couple of years. Get you somebody that can come in and play.
I think you have to go guard. If I was the Orlando Magic, Jace Richardson on my board, Walter Clayton on my board, and that's pretty much those two guys. If I can get one of those two guys, Magic won. They won the offseason to me in the East. They won the offseason. Yeah. I'm sorry. Suns. I did want to ask this. Who do you think the Suns should be targeting at 10 now that they have the 10th pick? And then we pretty much wrap it.
Yeah. Suns need in my opinion, like you said, you can get you God dang it, I just lost that man's name. They need, in my opinion, they need a big forward. They don't need a guard. They don't need a guard at all. They need a big forward, or they need a center, in my opinion. So if you're able to get one of those two things, Carter Bryant is the dude I was trying to think of. That's probably who I would try to target around number 10. So
I was thinking the same thing, like I said with Philly. They need either Carter Bryant, Colin Murray Boyles, or Cedric Coward. I think that's another team that could. They definitely need a big wing or a big, maybe even Malawak.
Yeah. Because I was gonna say Malawak if he falls that far. I just don't think he'll fall that far.
Dude, but 10? Like, who needs a center in the top 10? Brooklyn, they got him mocked to Brooklyn. Brooklyn do not need no damn center.
You don't need no center, but you get you a big old moving like that, dude. Yeah. I'll take my chances on him.
Nick Claxton's an asshole, but Nick Claxton's better than Malawak, bro.
And Nick Claxton finna be playing with Luka.
I wouldn't be mad at that either.
Nah.
But
Phoenix definitely needs to capitalize on this draft because
give them people some hope, man.
They have give them some. They have a bleak future, in my opinion. Bleak.
Found some shit I love to do, so I can look comfortable. Searching for a peace of mind. Need that when it's time to rhyme. Perfect in every line. Any chance I get, and I know it takes time, but I will never quit.